and just kind of analyze the market, see where we want to enter, make some money. Appreciate you guys joining. Just kind of hang out here for a little bit, and we'll get rolling. Like I said, I'm about 5 minutes early. I don't like to jump too much into the TA. If you guys are on YouTube and you're watching this recording, I'm a little bit early. I can call it excitement of Monday, right? I just wanted to get on here and get going on this TA. So I've already kind of set up my charts. I can kind of walk you through, guys. On TikTok, you can see. So, we put out our little statement. We've already done our market insights. If you're in the room, you guys have seen this. If you didn't, you can see here, CK actually called this head and shoulders, as well as myself, on that gap fill, which if you look at the actual chart, I mean, you can see where he called it way up here, right? And you can see, with Bitcoin, I mean, that played out like so far perfectly, right? I mean, I don't think we're done yet either, but we'll get into that. So, and then we just had, we put out the daily insight this morning. This is something we do every single morning, daily insight, talk about what we see, key points to look for, where you want to watch. Like I said before, you guys hear me say all the time, in crypto or in stocks, options, whatever you're trading, right? Everything is an end or if situation. It's never cut and dry. I mean, we can say, guys, we're going south, right? And it could go south, right? I mean, because the odds were high that it could, but it's not a for sure thing, right? I mean, it's always and or if. If we stay above certain things and we create bullish tendencies or patterns, then we're going north. If we don't stay above certain things, we're going south. It's really that simple. It's just knowing how to play that and how to react, right? If you're wrong and your trade goes against yourself. Resistance lines are meant to be broken. Trend lines are meant to be broken. Support's meant to be broken. It will always be broken. You can go back as far as you like in history. So, but yeah, so we got this guy now. If you guys want to join in to get this kind of stuff, you guys can join, and you just come on in, for free. You don't even need a credit card, and you get a lot of access in here. And if you like what we're doing, if you like what is going on in the community, you like the products that we offer, then you guys can sign up. So. We got about 2 minutes. Let's get started. I want to, kind of have plenty of time here. So appreciate you guys joining. In the huddle, as you guys know, um, this is just kind of 30 minutes I take to analyze the market. I analyze where my ATAs are. For those who don't know what that is, it's automated trading assistance. And I make determinations if I want to continue to turn them on more, or if I want to turn them off, right? Depending on the market's going. The way the news is playing out, not a lot going on this week. I'll probably leave them on. Heck, I might even get a little crazy, right? So we'll see. Well, first off, the way I like to start my day, or if I'm in your shoes, the way I would say to start your day. First things first, come into the trading floor, say good morning, something, right? I mean, positive thoughts are going to create a positive trading day. It's just how it always is, guys. Um, and then, second stop should be into market insights here. And then just kind of look at what we put out, right? This is going to guide you. It's going to tell you kind of what direction we're going, where you should stay, what we foresee. I mean, it's all there. Keep an eye on your crypto signals tab, right? So you can see here up on the crypto signals tabs, right? You're going to have all of the different signals and stuff that we have called, right? We do have option signals as well. I put out one, last week, and then we have this one here. So this one right here, I believe, yeah, I took profit on this one. So this one was the 413 call that we had put. We actually dropped, um, let's see, that was at 1400, or I'm sorry, on the 14th around 1530. So if you go over to, the SPY, and let's go to the 2 minute here. Yeah, so you can see it was right here when we called that, right? So we did ride this down. That was ITM. I didn't put that out in there yet, but we had a great options trade on that one. So for those who took that, congrats. This one made me about, I think, $40, I think I was showing last time I was on. Um, and then when you come down, guys, don't forget about down here, right? We do have the news. Always after you've gone through those and stuff, analyze stuff yourself. Look at the news. This is our economic calendars that we bring in for the feed to keep it easy for you. This is all of our news that we have going on this week, right? The one thing you want to look for is the mostly the ones that have these three heads, right? Primarily, ones that are in the US, obviously are going to impact our US markets a little bit more. So you can kind of see here we have a lot of two head stuff, right? The euro has some stuff going on. Um, Nothing that's probably going to shake us up any kind of wild, right? Um, we do have this three head here tomorrow, so you can keep an eye on that. I don't think it's going to rock the markets in any way. I mean, it is dealing with the housing and stuff, right? So we might get a little volatility, but I'm not expecting too much too crazy. So we do have crude oil inventories that typically likes to move the market a little bit, so we can keep an eye on that. Wednesday. All these seem to be, early morning, 8:30, 10:30. But just kind of plan your week, right? As we come along this way, right? And so it's all right here. It tells you, and if you don't understand what it is, guys, all you do is just copy this and Google it, right? Go in and figure out, do some homework on that. Make sure you guys, are putting in the time. So, um, but we're 2 minutes past 8:30, so let's get into a little bit of what we see TA. You can see this pre-market's already starting to pull back like we had talked about. But let's start off with the SPX. Like you guys know, I like to start off with stocks because the stocks are going to dictate what goes on in the crypto market. So this is kind of what I've been following on the SPX. We had our run up, right? We're creating lower highs here. We're creating lower lows here. We still have a lower low, but we do have higher lows here, right, for that shift. Now, it just means that we're going to potentially push north in the short term, is what that means. We did have a trend line down this way, right, which was a breakout. We retested it, causing another push up. This is a key area, though, because what I want you to do is zoom in a little bit and see the last time that we hit this area, right, it had a pretty, tough time to break it, and then it ultimately rejected pretty hard, and that's a pretty big fall. So, not only has it failed here, but it's also failed back here, and it failed to hold any form of support back here. So this is going to be a pretty nasty resistance. The nice thing about these type of resistances is, it's probably likely that we're going to reverse. Now, the interesting thing about it, guys, is we have a, nice little rising wedge kind of falling here. We have a lower high potentially here, which could, create this kind of into the double top that breaks down, retests, the neckline around this area, causing a bigger fall. That's the bearish scenario. So the and or if is if we can break above this level that it has not been able to break and hold, right? And it can claim it as support. It didn't really do it here, right? We went above, it went for the retest, failed, and actually rejected. That caused that really big fall. The other thing I want you to look at, right? If you zoom in here on the daily, what do we have? We have a doji. Doji just means indecision. Doesn't mean that we're going to be guaranteed to reverse. But the next candle, right, that we do, that comes down is going to be that really big decision as far as if we do get a bearish candle, then we're definitely pulling back. So just keep an eye on that. We'll watch that in markets opens as well. You can see, let me zoom out. Let me go to the 1 hour here. So the SPY, this is what I traded mostly on the options side. We have here where it ranged for a little bit, couldn't do it, broke down. And we're just kind of in that zone, right? So I'm kind of anticipating taking some scalps. I'll likely stay put on today, but I will probably wait for some kind of moves north, into the 413, 414, even 415 range. Once I see that bearish reversal, right, then we'll just ride that down. My push is because I'm going to scalp these downwards And my anticipation is at some point it's going to break like this, right? And that'll be a massive contract. But in the meantime, I'm just going to take some scalps. So that's where I see the SPY. So, and you can see, look at, Dixie starting to push up. Let's talk about the Dixie quickly. So you can see Dixie. We had made a minor modification to this line here. I actually want to change the color of this one, guys. Let's change it teal or something, and then let's change this upper line. I kind of got lazy on my colors here. Let's go to red and let's put it at like a 3. It just makes it a little easier when you're zoomed in to see what line you're actually dealing with, right? Um, so remember we have this green line, once was resistance, support, and then it's trying to hold support again. So it's going to be a very significant line on this green one. This teal one is a very long-term time trend line up. So, all right, so let's zoom back into the 2-minute here. So you can kind of see we so we broke here, rejected, caused a big fall because this is a trend line. This is why we made that adjustment, right? It seemed a little more viable here. And then we did fall down. We found our support, we ranged, and it ended up reclaiming a down over up, right? Now we're creating higher highs here, right? We do have a lower high temporarily here, right? But I'm interested to see if this higher low holds and we get a break up for another higher high. So if you're taking some scalping, you can almost take a line like this, right? And you can kind of see, let's see if it's viable over this way. Yeah. So we can actually play these two right here. And so why am I doing this, right? I don't really trade the Dixie. For me, I use the Dixie to trade my other stuff, right? So if the Dixie pushes up here, what's that going to do to the markets? It's going to drive it down. If I'm thinking put only, right, it's highly likely that we're going to get a rejection up here. This is what will determine when I close my trade, when I close my contract. Because if I push up into this area, it's very risky. There's a chance that it's gonna Dixie's gonna pull back probably in a decent way, right? Like it did here, like it did here, right? Like it did here. And if that happens, it can hit this and reject and still be in an uptrend. But I would prefer as a scalper to close that trade, take my money, let the Dixie fall, which is going to pump it back up, and then I'm going to write it back down again. So that's why I do chart the Dixie as well. So, but yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with the Dixie, guys. That's what I'll be watching. I'll be watching this line here as I take my puts. Anything that gets up into this area, I'm going to probably close. On the VIX, I'm not going to really go deep into the VIX. I put this out in the room. We have, support that was found here, so it's likely the VIX is going to try to push north a little bit. So if that does, it's going to drive the markets down. So yeah. So we'll go to the total market cap. These are the arrows that I put out in the room. I'll talk about them briefly here. So you can see we created a high. We have a lower high here, right, which we talked about. I think Friday, or no, this is Sunday. Yeah, Friday. So we talked about Friday, somewhere in this range, right, to look for that potential lower high, as we were going to try to retest this red line here. So we did break this red line on the 1 hour. I want to see if it acts as resistance. That will drive us down to this 200. Now this is going to be a pivotal spot. That's why we have all these areas marked for you, right? If we hold support on this 200, you're going to get a decent bounce. It could be a good long scalp, right? You could set, if you're playing altcoins, it doesn't matter. That's what's nice about the market cap, right? There's going to be a nice little bounce potentially in the market. Because what I would like to see is this come down, hit this 200, come back up, reject on this trend line, and then the fall down here to play out, right? So just keep an eye on that. This area is going to be very critical for the market cap. So now keep in mind too, we also have this area here on the 1 hour. We are oversold a little bit. Still some room to go though. So still some room to go. Bitcoin, I'm going to mute the harmonic one just to make it a little easier to see. So you guys have all seen, I've been following this trend line. I actually took a short right up in this area. If you guys were following me last week, you guys know that we were calling that we're going to have possibly one more push up, and then we'll have that nice little rejection. That's playing out pretty well. I think we're going to end up with a up over down situation today. Um, the area to keep an eye on, right? Let's take a line from here and let's pull it up to these peaks. So what do we have? We have a point, we have a touch, we have another touch, higher, and explosion. What that means is that it's very likely we're going to get some form of a nice bounce anywhere in this area. Doesn't mean that we're not still bearish, but it means we could get a nice bounce. So if you are shorting the market, my suggestion, don't FOMO into it, guys. Don't try to catch the big train, right? You know, wherever you take your profit, just hold off, right? You're gonna get bounces. We're gonna get a little bounce here, right? It comes up and then you just short that back down. And that's why when I tell people I'm staying short, I'm not just always in a short trade, right? Be smart about it. We want to wait for our pump ups and we short it. We want to wait for the pump ups and we short it. I stay short because the way that I trade in my scalping is I trade the ranges. As you guys know, I play risk versus reward. My risk of us falling all the way down into this area is higher than my risk of pumping into some of these crazy areas, right? Even if it pumps into those areas, there is so much resistance in there that I can dollar cost average somewhere in there to get out. Um, so that's why for me, um, I'll ride this whole thing up, and I'll show you guys in a little bit how the ATA does that as well. Um, so you'll know a little bit on what I'm talking about there. So um, let's touch ETH a little bit. Had a nice little short this morning. You guys can see that. Um, let's mute this one. This one. I love that. It's like literally my favorite indicator, but it's a little noisy when you're dealing with trend lines. So let's go to the 15-minute here on ETH. You can see, overall we're just kind of ranging between the 2120 area, right, and the 67 or so, 2070, and so it hasn't quite broken and held that yet. But just keep in mind, on the 15-minute, this is why I went to this chart. We do have a death cross on the EMAs that we use for our custom indicators. We have built-in EMAs that we use on these, purposely. And so we do have that death cross, and we do have resistance being held. So I'd like to see this area here around 2072 be broken. And that's going to be highly dependent on if Bitcoin can break, right? Today's Fake Out Monday, right? So this push south could be the fake, right? And then we push north one more time. Just be careful the first, hour or two of market open, because a lot of times it's not usually the right way. So that doesn't mean that we're in that now, right? It means that market could open, we could see a nice little push north, and then all of a sudden that reverses again. But this is why we scalp. We get in, we get out, we take what we see and make our money. So as far as bounces on Ethereum, I'm anticipating, this gap is just ridiculous, guys, on ETH, and that's not even the full gap. I mean, I haven't even zoomed out far enough to, look at this gap, right? It's just absolutely absurd. No gap fills at all whatsoever, right? Doesn't mean it has to. This is why I was, although my low on ETH is somewhere down here in 1314, right? Which could happen. I think it's going to hold, in this area pretty strong before it breaks down to that. So I think that these previous resistance levels are going to act as some pretty serious support, which is somewhere in the 1700, 16, high 16 range. If that breaks, sure, of course we could see this, right? We didn't touch it last time, right? Even though Bitcoin touched its lower line. So plenty of room. So there was lots of news that pushed up Ethereum. Ethereum went on its run. Runs eventually, gap fill at the end of the day, just like everything else. So just be careful on your ETH longs. I'm not taking ETH longs right now. I'm taking ETH shorts. So let's get into the ATAs. We got about 15 minutes left. So I'm still running Aave, Doge, ETH, LTC, Matic, and Sol. let's get into it and see. So for those who don't know, this is my automated trading portion. Um, let's talk about Doge. I'm not too worried about looking at ETH because we know we're short only. Our entry is about like 1970 or something like that. So we got some room before we get to that. It didn't DCA, so I'm not too worried on that one. All right. Ooh, looks like Doge actually took a stop loss here. Look at that. Remember we set this for the Elon tweets, right? And I told you guys I really was hesitant on running Doge anyways, so I'm just going to kill Doge. It did not take any trades after the stop loss. You guys can see that. I don't run these kind of stop losses a lot because I trade at a margin level that it doesn't matter where it goes. But I wanted to set these tight because I wanted, part of using technology is trusting that it works, that it protects your funds, right? And so if y'all remember, the setting I did was a little tight, right at the 5%. We enabled stop loss and we told it, do not trade after you hit that stop loss. And that's kind of what I wanted to show you guys, right? So it did go parabolic here, right? Some got put out and it did stop out, but it did not make any trades afterwards, right? So now we can reassess it. I'm not going to run Doge anymore. Doge is it's a fun one to run, right? But it's just the parabolic movements, are wacko on it. So we're gonna put an end to Doge. So to do that, all you have to do, guys, is you just delete the alert. That's it, and that's done. Close that page, and we're done with Doge. Let's check out Solana. So Solana, we did a reset, if you remember, last night on the huddle, and so far it's doing well. It's done all these shorts, right? Earning back a little bit on that. So I'm gonna let Solana just continue to ride. I think I do still have. Yeah, stop loss on this, but we do have like 7%, so we gave a little more breathing room on Solana. It's not currently in a trade, which so Solana's doing good. So we're gonna let Solana roll. Looks like it just took profit here on a TP3, so not too bad, Solana. Let's load layout. If you guys see the routine I go through, whenever I load layout, you're just gonna go to your layouts. You hit load layout, find the layout that you're trying to look at, right? So let's look at Aave. Aave was doing pretty good last time. I can already tell with this downtrend that it's going to be doing well. You can just tell by the downtrend, right? What impresses me is when you see an uptrend and it does well like this, right? So let's take a look at Aave. We started this 4 days ago. These are all the trades that it's done. It keeps this backlog for you. So you can see, all these we've covered before. Here's my yellow where I started it. So far, Aave is killing it. I'm impressed with Aave. Took some nice shorts through here. This was a great DCA. Aave is not a short either. Actually, look, it closed it on this little pullback here, so it's just waiting. But we made about $53 in 4 days just on shorting Aave, so not too bad. And guys, some of you guys don't know. I mean, this was on the volume I'm trading at is Gambit. If you look on our website, Gambit's minimum requirement is $5,000. So when I'm making $50 in 4 days, or like LTC's done well, and ETH, all these funds, that's the investment that I'm using, or the volume I'm trading at. So ETH is in good shape, or not ETH, sorry, Aave. Let's go to the next one. So we did turn on Matic. I think we did. We turned on Matic, didn't we? Yeah. Guys, I get so much going on. This is why I love organizing it, because it helps. This is like my to-do list, because I even forget. That's what I love about the ATAs, is that you can turn it on and just forget about it, right? So we do have Matic on. I do have a stop loss on Matic as well. I think it's at 7%. And Matic's crushing. I mean, $16 in 2 days. I'll take it. I didn't do anything more, right? And so far it's, had great shorts. It hasn't even DCA'd up till about here. Look at this, great DCA, caught a TP2. Closed a little early on that one, but that's okay. Had a great short here, nice DCA. Look at that peak. I mean, just nailed the peak, right? Out in profit. And then it looks like it just took a really good short here for TP3. And now it's not in a trade. Guys, look at this. With this little pullback we had, pretty much all my ATAs are getting out. I'm going to keep running Matic. guys, the news is not super heavy. So if you're one, now's the time to jump in and run these a little heavier. The only thing I don't like actually, hmm, I may pause Matic actually, guys. So as you know, I'm short only, right? And you have, potentially, it hasn't quite peaked here again, right? But you have a potential ascending triangle, which if this hits and this support level holds, right, it's going to give Matic a pretty good pump. Let's look at this. Yeah, and see, look at this. What was once resistance, right, is now holding as support. So if this holds as support, Matic could get a pretty good pump. I think I'm gonna stop Matic, guys. I don't know. I want that short right now, so I'm gonna stop my Matic short. And I can just delete it because if you remember, I'm not in a trade. We already sold it. So made 16 bucks in 2 days. I'm not gonna take that risk. It's not worth it. And the reason is if it wasn't Matic, maybe, but Matic's just such a great project as you guys know that it can just run like crazy. So I don't know that I like that risk. So let's take a look at LTC. LTC is super high on the range. If you're not already running LTC short, you really should. Um, could it go up higher? Absolutely, but it definitely has a lot of room to fall. Let's go to the 1 hour and I'll show you what I mean. Look at that. This is the range that we're playing. I mean, this is literally this. Could we break north? Sure, right? But I mean, it's had its run. And LTC, let me tell you right now, LTC loves to run, but when the market turns, when Bitcoin starts to drop, LTC loves to dump. I mean, look at this. In one freaking 1 hour candle, it went from $98 to $85, right? I mean, just one candle. It's absolutely absurd. Um, and so I'm okay with continuing with LTC. So what do we got still? We got Aave, ETH, LTC, and Sol. I'm good with four. I'll run four for. Let's just assess how Monday plays out, and maybe I'll turn on some more tomorrow. But for now, let's just keep it at four, right? I'm not going to make any modifications for those of you who don't know how to do these ATAs. Let me go back to the 1 minute here. You can see, super simple. We just choose direction, long or short. We choose the pair we want to trade. We have built-in strategies, so if you don't know how to trade, that's okay. You just click one, right? I use Parabolic Stars. It works really well. We set our take profits. We set our dollar cost averages, right, based on percentages, and the multiplier, how much you want to do. It's all super transparent. The multiplier is right here based on the base volume. If you want to do a stop loss, there it is, and then you start your candle. It's that simple. Um, Last 7 minutes or so, I'll just show you guys. If you are new to it, you're just even slightly curious, you can join for free, no credit card, nothing. Just come in with an email and you can literally click on training right here and it opens up all of our training that we have. And the reason why we do this is we want you to come in and get comfortable with the ATA, understand it, right? This is all for free. And if you like it, if you're like, man, I think I can get this, sign up. If you don't, if you're struggling or you just think it's over your top, over your head, then no harm, no foul, right? Didn't cost you anything. And these videos are not long, guys. Like let me show you. It pops up like right here, right? Look at this. 3 minutes. I mean, you can go through 2, 3, 5 minute videos and determine if it's for you or not. So, just to touch on last topic here, guys, is the Academy. We are super excited to launch this thing. So we have, I think, one more video that we're filming, and then we're ready for the launch. We're doing like a Netflix style drop. We're going to drop it all on Friday. We're extremely excited. This is for the new person that doesn't understand anything. We go down as deep as like, what is a candle, right? And we talk about a lot of the stuff, the structures here, so it's super transparent for you. As far as what you're going to learn, what you're going to get with it. This is not a subscription, this is a one-time fee, and you can break it up into payments as well. So if you're not, able to come up with a big fee at first, but this is going to be game changing for your trading. So I highly recommend it because I think it will put a lot of stuff in perspective. whether you want to live trade or whether you want to use the ATA. I think it's gonna be game changing for you. So we did start 5 minutes early, so I guess I'm on time. Even though it seems like it's 5 minutes early here. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and we'll end the call portion, so that way we keep it about a 30-minute video. Let me close this down, and we'll reset into here. So. Guys, I am going to put out, if you're in the community, I'm going to put out the link to the Google Meets that I'm in right now so you guys can come in and hang out. I'll probably be able to hang out till about 11 or so, 11 or 12, and then I'll leave the room open, but I have to do a few meetings today, so break off. But in the meantime, most of my trading I do, market open till about 10:30, 11, really like an hour and a half. And I already have my stuff set on where I want to go. So if you guys want to come in, if you're on TikTok, you want to come in, just join in for free about Jock, and then all you would have to do is once you get in, you just click on the trading floor here, and that's where I'm going to put out the Google Meets. Actually, I will come in here now. Let's see, and we'll put out the invite for you guys. I wonder if I do add. Nope, it's gonna do add that way. Yeah, we'll get that out for you guys. So put me in. I'll get the link here soon. That's awesome. But I appreciate you guys' time. I'm gonna go ahead and stop on the stream for YouTube as well as the community there, and we'll put out that information for you guys to join the Google Meet here shortly. So see you guys soon.